So Alchemy got a few new features in the 10.4.2 update as well. The big one is the ability to drag and drop samples right onto your sources here. Now, the way you used to have to load in samples is you click here, go to import audio, find your sample that you want to import or samples that you want to import, choose the analysis mode, and click import. You don't have to do that anymore. What I'm going to do to start is I'm just going to go to File, Initialize Preset, just to set this back to its default setting. I'm going to show one of my sources here, and what I'm going to do is go down to my Finder folder, find a sample file, and just drag and drop it on here. So as you can see, it creates these sample loading zones on these sources. Essentially, they're called hot zones, and you can choose between additive, spectral, granular, or sample-based synthesis for these. So I'm going to click Sampler here, and what it does is it loads in that sample file. So let's see if this worked. And there you go. So another update is if you disable one of these modules, the controls actually go transparent. It never used to do that before. So I find this useful because you can more easily see which modules are actually active. So let's just make source A inactive for now. Let's make source B active, and let's drag that same sample file in, and let's use a different synthesis this time. Let's use granular, and let's see what that sounds like. Maybe we want to tune this up an octave, so just tune this up 12 semitones. And maybe I'll layer that with the first source. And then add a nice delay to it. So those are the hot zones for importing samples. Now, the last update to Alchemy is pretty simple. All this does is it allows you to double-click on any of your control values and type them in numerically. So if I want this filter cutoff to be at exactly 16,500 hertz, you can now type that in instead of having to drag the knob and hope to land on that frequency. You can just double-click and type in whatever value you want numerically. So those are the three major updates to Alchemy in Logic 10.4.2.